So this evening we are lucky to have a talk by Rinpoche on transforming your world through compassion. So that's the title of the talk. And for those that were here yesterday, maybe I'll just say a few things about Nimba Tulku. If this is the first time you've come to one of his teachings and you don't know so much about Rinpoche. So he was recognized as a reincarnate Lama. He was very young in Tibet, and then shortly after that he had to leave due to the Chinese occupation. So he found his way to India with his family, and there he received training and education from some of the best Buddhist masters of our age, and also became an academic working in Sikkim University, and eventually. And then in the 90s he was invited to come to the West by some of his Tibetan friends that had already made their way over here to Scotland. Sammy Ling actually, so Rinpoche, as some of you may be aware of, invited Rinpoche over to come. So after some persuasion, Nimba Tulku decided to come, and then he was asked to teach, and people enjoyed the teachings, got some value from him. So then more people invited Rinpoche to come and teach. So now he's travelling all over the place, Europe, America, sometimes Africa, I found out today. Written many books, and also founded a charity called Real Trust, which helps support his monastery and children in his hometown of Rinpoche, Tibet, which is a very remote village in Tibet. So the money for this charity goes towards the education, healthcare, and the food for the children and for Rinpoche's monastery there. So Rinpoche can't really go to the monastery, but they lost this kind of our game, so we kind of try and help support the monastery for that reason. I did say we have to be up by 9, so I apologise, it's actually 9:30, so we've got a little bit more time to relax. So we'll kind of wrap up the teachings and question and answer session by 9 o'clock. But you're all very welcome, if we can fit, if you're so inclined, to come over to the Quaker Meeting House, which is just over the road, to watch, or if you're taking part in the refuge ceremony and the Bodhisattva House. Okay, so very welcome. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, welcome everybody. And tonight is changing your world through compassion.
Transforming your world.
Huh?
Transforming your world.
Transforming your world through compassion. Very good. You know, I think everybody wants that our world is much better. That there is peace, there is prosperity, there is progress, there is happiness. And I think we have been trying to transform our world since the beginning. Many different kind of political, social, all kind of different systems that we tried. And sometimes things improved a little bit, sometimes things became worse. Every change although may be done with very good intention in the beginning, always didn't turn out to be very useful. I was in Russia last year, and they were telling me that please don't talk about revolution changing, because it's never helped anyway. Every revolution was a great problem, more problem than it was before. So what is it? How is the best thing that we need to change? Sometimes people think that democracy is very important. I think democracy is very important. There are better examples of democracy, and there's a worse examples of democracy also. I'm just coming from Nepal, and it's supposed to be democracy. I don't want to talk about it. So therefore, what's the real thing? I think what's the real problem? I think the real problem is the people, how we are and how we think and how we react and how systems and laws and things like that is important, but it doesn't solve all the problems. When I looked at when we studied the Buddha, although Buddha was some kind of a reformer, he very much revolted against the caste system in India, and did lots of things, tried to break those systems and rules and traditions that was not good. But when I look into his teachings, I don't see anywhere that he suggests any special form of government. He doesn't suggest a different form of government or different form of social order or different form of things like that. What we suggest is that to try to transform ourselves, because that the most important reasons in our human kind of world, human history, that we have problem, difficulties, we create sufferings, is when there is wars, when we fight with each other. That's maybe one of the worst things we do to each other. And as I said yesterday, when we look into the history of the world, there are so many wars. It's almost the history of the world is a history of wars. And why do we make wars? What is the root cause of these wars? I think it's not so difficult to see if you look a little bit deeper. Whatever, you kind of, it's kind of presented as, there's no kind of righteous war. All the wars are either because of hatred or because of greed, or sometimes because of jealousy, or sometimes because of pride, and many times because of misunderstanding. Yeah. So therefore, whatever we do, whatever system or whatever other reforms we make, whatever laws we make, whatever different kind of, unless we reduce these inner reasons, hatred, greed, especially those two, I think we'll be fighting with each other all the time. And then create so much pain and problem for ourselves and more for others. When we look into any conflicts, we find these as the essence reason of these conflicts. So therefore, if we had a society, if we had the world with less of those, or none of those, or the opposite of those, what is the opposite of hatred? Love, compassion, kindness. That's the opposite of love, the opposite of hatred. What's the opposite of greed? In one way, it's also that, because greed is that I want, I need, I want more and more and more. Compassion is we. We, I think sometimes difference between our way of seeing is I and we with a big we. The more all of us. It's not only I want or my people want, but everybody wants. So that's kindness, that's compassion. Compassion is wishing good things, wishing well-being, wishing as much good for myself as to others also. That's compassion. That's love. That's the basis of kindness also. So, greed is like I want. Compassion is I want everybody. And not so much. So in the same way, jealousy, its opposite is also compassion. Because, jealousy is like, I am not happy if somebody has something good. I am unhappy if somebody does something good, somebody attains something good, somebody, gets better than myself. Compassion is rejoicing. If somebody does something good, very good, I appreciate, I like it, I'm happy about that. If somebody gets something nice, I'm more happy. So in this way, even pride, of course there are different kinds of prides. One pride is good pride. That I do something nice and I'm happy about it. I have something good, I have some positive qualities or something like that, and I appreciate that, I'm happy. That's a good pride. And the negative pride is that I look down on other people. I don't want to see positive qualities of anybody else. I close my eyes on, others' good things, qualities, and positive side. Then that's arrogance, pride. So the opposite is also compassion. Compassion is like, I like to see others' good qualities. I wish them well. I am not only thinking about myself. I want to learn and, So therefore, the compassion is not only wanting to help people who are worse than myself. Sometimes people think that, compassion is that if the people, somebody is in a worse condition than myself, then I want to help them. I want it better. If they are a little bit better than me, I don't know, I don't have to do anything to them. It's not like that. Compassion is that those who are slightly better than us, or much better than us, are also like us. Maybe in some ways they have some better situation. Maybe they have more money, they have more education, they have more something better than ourselves. But they're all human beings. They all have, as much human problems that I have, that you have. So therefore, it's not that they are something totally different. They are exactly like every one of us. So why not wish them better? Why not, have compassion to them? We need to have compassion to them. People who are better than us, who are lower than us, who are equal to us. Sometimes we have difficulties to have compassion who are equal to us. Competition. And I don't say that this competition is always bad, but I think it creates lots of problems sometimes. I feel that when I say to myself that, I have to be ahead of everybody, I have to be better than everybody, I have to compete with everybody. I think in my mind I make some kind of I make myself very alone, very lonely. This person, I can't let him go up better than me. This person, everybody. I can't be totally friends with anybody. And if I can't be really friends with anybody, how can it be that I am happy? I could feel totally lonely. If somebody is little, and however much I compete, I cannot always become the best in everything. Anyway, there are always people who are better than me. There are always people who are worse than me, in all different situations. And then why not appreciate them? Why should I wish those people who are better than me to come down? Why not that I really completely appreciate that and help them to go better? It doesn't make me less. Of course, I need to, sometimes they say that if I don't have a competitive attitude, I would not have, I would not have ambition. That's not true. Of course, we should have ambitions. We should have great ambitions. We should have greatest ambitions. Sometimes we say, in the Buddhist way, it's like Bodhisattva attitude. I wish to bring the lasting peace and happiness to all the sentient beings without everybody leaving behind. I think almost an impossible ambition. Doesn't matter. Even if it is not possible, still it's a very good ambition, the best ambition, highest ambition. We must aim high. If aim high, then maybe a little bit less we will achieve. There was one of my teachers used to say that you should always aim high in exams and anything. If you want to become the best, then you will become good. If you just want to be good, you will become average. And if you aim to be average, you become not very good. Sometimes it's also true. But that doesn't mean that I have to bring others down. There is, I need to compete with my own excellency, not putting people down. I can be completely rejoicing at everybody's, progress, and at the same time be ambitious and competitive and have my own. If everybody works together, helps each other, that's much better than I'm alone doing something. So therefore, when we understand this, actually there is no reason why we should not have compassion. And we should not feel this way, because it's better for me, better for everybody. we always want, everybody to be helping each other, helping us. Everybody being happy, helping, generous, kind to each other. We wish that everybody behave well, do good things and not do negative things. We wish that to happen. We also wish that everybody to be patient and tolerant. And we wish that everybody does good things and diligently good things and happily work and do their jobs properly. And we want that everybody has the peace of mind, is relaxed, and their mind is settled and sane. And we wish that everybody is wise, reasonable, understanding. That's what we wish. And if this happens, if this happens, if everybody becomes like that, how do you think the world would be like? Like heaven. There can't be any wars. There can't be any conflicts. There can't be any atrocities. We help each other. Everybody helps each other. Everybody is nice to each other. Everybody. That can happen only if all of us truly generate compassion towards everybody. But how do we make that happen? We cannot make a law. We cannot ask somebody to kind of write an order, or we can't appoint policemen to order it and say that everybody is kind. We can't do that. It has to come from within. Because if it's imposed, it wouldn't be compassion anyway. It wouldn't be, then it wouldn't work. And who will be the ones who impose? That was the basic flaw in communism. That they said that everybody has to be equal. Everybody is having the equal rights and things like that. But then they made some people the dictators to impose it. And then those dictators become dictators, corrupt. And that's why it was basically flawed. Couldn't happen. So in the same way, we cannot impose anything. So if we cannot impose, then what's the other way? We have to do it ourselves. We have to, And how? By understanding. By clearly seeing that, being kind to each other, being compassionate to each other, understanding that all of us are very same and similar. We are all in the same kind of boat. We are all like the same family. We are all together. To understand that. And we need to help each other. There's nobody outsider. There's nobody, we have all love. There is nobody who doesn't have love in their heart. You know? Human beings have love in their heart. Yeah? We are here because of somebody's love. Human beings live by the love of others. Yeah? Yes or no? I think I might have told this, but recently I've seen a small video. I think in the Facebook. I'm watching Facebook too much, actually. I have more, now I don't know. I had more than 5,000 friends, and that time I couldn't make more than 5,000. So it was finished. It was anyway. So there was this video. I think I was very happy with it. I was very inspired by that. The video was about, there was an advertisement for job. There was a job. If anybody wants to get this job, come to this place on this date at this hour. And then lots of young people came. The house, the hall was completely full. Then there were 3 people sitting this way. The interviewee or viewers, those who were conducting the interview. And they were giving the description of the job. One person was saying, the job is 24 hours a day. Yeah? Hard job, no? And then she was saying, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. No vacation. And then the camera is on the face of this, and they kind of all not so happy, yeah. But then they think, the pay must be extremely high, It must be an extraordinary pay because it's such a hard job, it's like. And then some people were asking, how much is the pay? How much is the pay? And then one of the interviewers said, absolutely free. No payment. And everybody, and said, who will do such a job? Who, on earth will do such a job? And then they were saying, lots of people do this job. What has happened? Lots of people do this job. And they were arguing, how can anybody do such a job? There's nobody who would do such a job. Then one of them were asking questions. How much did you pay your mother? The mothers do that job. No? How many of you have paid your mother? Nobody paid your mother, no? But without her, we wouldn't be here. And it's not only 24-hour job, it's a quite hard job. We made only noise and dirty. I don't mean the fathers don't do anything. Fathers also do their things. Yeah? They did their own part. No? I must support fathers as well. They do their own thing. Maybe they are not as good to, feed the child and change their wrappings, but they do their own thing. What is it? Is it battery? So therefore, there is love in us. Why did you do it? Because of love. You can't have any other reason. So there is love in us, in everybody. But, it's okay? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. It's okay. There's no problem. But the problem is that our love is very, we limit it. We limit our love. We make a barrier. These are our loved ones, and these are not. And we make a very superficial barrier. Because any time those outside that barrier can become one whom you love. There is nothing that, this person I can never love. Sometimes people I don't know, I've never met before, I meet and then become my best friend. Doesn't matter whether that person comes from other side of the world. We can always feel love to somebody who is, outside our family, outside our society, outside our country, outside our community, So therefore, this barrier is completely, kind of not based on any real, logical reasons. Just make it, So therefore, why we can't extend that love, that kindness to everybody? Because everybody is exactly like myself. Of course, we all are slightly different. We all are slightly different, but that's a good thing. That we are all not like exactly same. Then it would be like robots. No? We are a little bit different. Everybody has their own certain positive qualities, certain talents, certain things which is a little bit different. But basically we all want to be happy. We all want to be free from suffering. We all wish that others are kind and compassionate to us. We wish that everybody is helping me. We wish that people love me. No? And then if somebody is kind to me, I am very happy. And if I can be, if I feel love and compassion and kindness, I am happier. If I am angry and hateful, I am unhappy. There's nobody who says that, oh, I had such a wonderful day, I was so angry. I don't think there's ever like that. So therefore, kindness, compassion, love is something that is comfortable with us. It's natural with us. We are happy when we feel this, love, kindness, compassion. We feel good when we feel those things. We feel bad if we feel angry, if we feel upset, if we feel hateful, if we feel annoyed. So that's our true nature then. But then, so therefore, if we know that, being kind to each other will bring the best in the world, will bring peace in the world, will bring progress in the world, will bring happiness in the world, will bring, all good things in the world. Who should start it? I cannot ask somebody to do it for me. I have to start with myself. I heard a story kind of a thing a long time ago, since a long time. I'm sure I've written in my books also. There was one priest, a Christian priest, and when he died in old age, he asked his people to write this on his tombstone. And that tombstone is supposed to be still existing. Some say it's in Edinburgh. I have not seen it myself. I don't know. If anybody has seen it, tell me. And what he wrote was this. He said that when I was young, I wanted to change the world. Then I prayed, Lord, good Lord, give me the power and wisdom to change the whole world. And I tried my best. But when I became older, I found that nothing has changed. Nobody changed. Then I thought that that's not the way, I must first change my near and dear ones. And if I can change my dear and near ones, taking them as an example, the world would change. So I prayed, good Lord, please give me the power and wisdom to change my dear and near ones. And I tried my best. But when I became very old, I found nobody changed. But then I came to realize that actually I must change myself first. If I change myself, maybe taking that as an example, some of my near and dear ones might change. And taking that as an example, the world might change. Now I pray to Lord God that please give me the wisdom and power to change myself. But alas, it's too late. Yeah? So we need to do that from the beginning. And nowadays, everybody says this, everybody talks about. Be the change. Yeah? All the politicians were also saying this. Obama was talking about that, be the change. We need to be the change. We need to start with ourselves. And if I can change a little bit, maybe it has a little effect on other people. Even if it doesn't have too much effect on the people, I am myself much better off. I think this is very important to understand, that sometimes people think that if I'm compassionate, it's good for others, but not good for me. I think that's the most wrong way of saying things. You know? Sometimes people think that to be compassionate means you have a compulsion to do things what people ask you to do. That's not right. There's no compulsion. If it's a compulsion, if you are kind of forced to do something, then it's not compassion. Compassion means that you willingly, freely would like to help, would like to be kind, would like to be nice, would like to do something in order to help everybody, myself and others. It's not I and the others, it's like we. If it is something that's good for me and for everybody, I should try to do that and do that more. That's the whole point. There's nothing called, compulsion. Some people even come and say that it's hard to be compassionate. Because when I feel compassion, it's like, I become like a doorstep that everybody kind of cleans their shoe on. Doormat. I think that's the wrong way of saying compassion. Compassion is totally free. It's totally our own, that I wish to do, I wish to be kind to each other, I wish to help, I wish to do. And when I want to help, who I want to help, what I want to do, it's totally myself. It's not because somebody has to, tell me what to do and not to do. I can easily say no. If I see that if I do, this way I behave, is good for me and everybody, I want to do it, I will do it, I try my best. But it's not because, there is a compulsion. There's no compulsion. So it's not that if I feel I have to be compassionate or kind, I have no choice. I have all the choice. I can say no. Why can't I say no? So therefore, when I feel compassion, I feel warm inside. I feel good in myself. Actually, sometimes I feel that the best way of loving myself is to do something good for others. Because, sometimes I think that when I am at the end of my life and I look back and see that what have I done? What was my life like? Of course, we have been all very, very busy. We are always busy. But with that busyness, what did I do? Really something important, something memorable, something meaningful. I ate lots of chocolate. I was so good. I also ate, lots of ice creams. Very good. I lived the most wonderful life. I don't think I'll feel that much. If I did something that would really help some people, made a little difference in somebody's lives, I might feel that, oh, that's what I did, something good, something useful, something beneficial. I think that would be what makes my heart warm and feel that I have, lived my life with some use, with some meaning, with some sense. No? I think sometimes I feel that, sometimes people tell me that they have a job but they don't have job satisfaction. How do we get job satisfaction? I think, job satisfaction is also coming from there, If I'm doing a job and I get paid, but if I feel that the job I'm doing is really not making any difference to anybody, it doesn't help anybody, it's just, doing something that I get something to live on, I think I would feel that the job is I don't get too much job satisfaction from it. But if I'm feeling that I'm doing something that's useful, that's helpful, that's benefiting some people, then I think I would feel job satisfaction. So therefore, when I'm doing something that is something meaningful, that is something useful, that's something beneficial, then I would be happy with myself. I would think, oh yes, I did something good. I did something useful. I did something nice. Oh yes, I'm very good. I will be proud of myself. And if I'm proud of myself, I would love myself, no? So therefore, if we want to love ourselves, we have to do something that's useful and meaningful and wonderful. So being kind and being compassionate is one way of bringing even love to yourself and feel good and feel meaningful, feeling useful. So therefore, it's not only good for others, I think it's very good for ourselves. Besides, just also feeling peaceful and joyful. When I feel my life is a little bit meaningful, I feel more joy, my joy in living. So therefore, when we try to cultivate our kindness and compassion, it's making ourselves happier, our life more meaningful, make ourselves more proud of ourselves, more kind and and happy with myself, that our heart becomes warmer, and we create a certain kind of positive influence to myself and to others. And if more people do this, because this is something like, sometimes people think that, oh, I'm always being kind and compassionate, but others are not, so I'm very upset and angry about them. There's nothing to be angry if others are not kind and compassionate. You have to be more kind and compassionate to them because they don't understand how nice being kind and compassionate is. They're suffering themselves. They're putting themselves into a very negative state of mind. It's not helping themselves. It's ignorance. But it's sad that they are not like that, but then, there's nothing to be angry about. So therefore, when more and more people, we can see this, we can understand this, we can feel this deeply, then we can be the change. Be the change. And if more and more people understand this, I think that changes the world. I was talking about this story of this lady, yesterday. It's like that. Even if one person is really nice and kind, it can bring certain kind of hope, and if we meet somebody who is really kind and nice, our way of seeing the world can sometimes change just because of another person. And especially, these days, I think it's very important. Because, many young people are saying that the world is going so bad. The world is going so, so violent and so, negative. It's not not worth living. They need kindness. They need people showing them compassion, kindness, love. And how do we teach love and kindness and compassion? Not by talking. We don't learn by talking. We learn by doing. We learn the way we are. We have learned how we are by looking at other people. By, we learned if we have some compassion and kindness, love, we learned because we felt that, whoever that was. And, we just learn from, how, the way we act, the way we talk, the way we see things, the way we, value things. We learn from the people around us. How they do, we just do it. We copy. We don't even know that we are learning. That's how, So therefore, this, I think sometimes I feel that, just by compassion, just by being kind, and that's only thing, one thing can totally transform the world. But this is, this needs understanding. This needs appreciation. That we need to appreciate how important the compassion is, kindness is. Sometimes we don't. I think we don't appreciate. Many times I've heard people saying that this leader or this politician we cannot elect because even sometimes, like principals and, directors and things like that. We cannot because he's too soft. Or she's too soft. We will not able to do things. We will not be efficient. We almost equal the efficiency to ruthlessness. We almost admire ruthlessness. We think people have to be ruthless to be efficient and capable and good. So we have ruthless people on our top. Yeah? And then we complain, but that's too late, isn't it? We need to, it's not that compassionate people are not able. Compassionate people are very able. Compassionate people can be intelligent. Compassionate people are not all this kind of totally innocent and not knowing what is what, Sometimes people, I think, see it like this. If he is compassionate, means he is so innocent that he doesn't know from one to another, kind of nice, not knowing what is happening, not doing, just like. It's not like that. No, you can be very compassionate with very good motivation, but very, very intelligent. Yeah, and has to be. We need to see things, we need to see clearly, we need to know what is what, we have to have wisdom. And if you have kindness and compassion, you have very good motivation, and then, this is, sometimes people think that, if you are compassionate and kind, you can't be, kind of, what can you say? You can't be shrewd. It's not true. You can be shrewd. Why not? So therefore, but shrewd in a good way, not shrewd to try to deceive people, but shrewd to help people. Shrewd to bring good things for everybody. That kind of shrewdness, that kind of wisdom, that kind of, clarity and, intelligence we need. But if your motivation is wrong, then however clever you are, however intelligent you are, it doesn't help, because it's used for the wrong reason. Somebody can be very bright, somebody can be very intelligent, somebody can be very efficient, but if his or her motivation is not good, if there is no compassion, if it's no help. It's only harm. So therefore, when people, most of us, more and more people, really value the compassion and really, kind of see that if somebody who is with compassion and kindness is somebody that we can look up to, that we praise, that we, we like, that we, that we appreciate, then more and more people will become compassionate. And even those who are not so compassionate pretend to be compassionate. And everybody pretends to be compassionate, that's better also. Yeah? So this is my way of understanding that, because if we need to bring more happiness, more joy, more helping, more, positive deeds, more kindness, there's no other way. We can only stop the wars, the people of the world. We can change, people of the world has to change it. And to change that, we need to change our way of seeing things, way of doing things, way of reacting. That's the way I understand. Yeah? I think I should stop here, and if you have any questions or anything, most welcome. Yes?
Right.
Thank you. I understand and completely agree with what you're saying about compassion, 100%. But I do have a problem about war. Don't know what we do about war. As I understand it, to stand by peacefully and watch a violent act taking place is itself an act of violence. When you have one group of people committing violence on another group of people, how can a third group of people stand by and watch?
You know, I don't know how it happens. Maybe, in different cultures, people do different things. I was told when I was young about things, like if something is happening, a fight is happening or something, you should not go there, you should not get involved. And you should not do anything until the policeman comes. That was the instruction in the modern world I got. I come from a very different society, I was born in Tibet in 1952, and at that time, it was almost like 8th century. We had no policemen. We had no policemen in Tibet. We had no army. Everybody was army. Everybody in our area, in my place, in Kham, everybody had guns. Men, not women, but men. Every man had guns. And if there was some kind of a war, they would ask them to come, and all of them come. And then that's the army. Yeah. And there was no banks, there was no nothing. I mean, there was no shops, there was no employment, there was no money. But if two people were fighting, the third person will go and, beat both of them. My father used to do that often, two people were about to fight or are fighting, he used to go and beat them both. And they used to appreciate it afterwards, that he didn't allow them to fight, because the fight in that area is very dangerous. They could kill each other. So when two people are fighting and a third party comes and really kind of make sure that they can't fight, was considered very good. Yeah? Was considered very good. I think this is what should do, if two people, I thought that was the work of the United Nations. Yeah? All the nations came together to bring peace. Means like if two countries are fighting, then they would go and make sure that they can't fight. They can use force. They can use other means to make sure that they can't fight at all. That's what we should do, no? I think that is what we should do. But this is maybe, my kind of nomadic and kind of very outdated way of thinking. I don't know, but I always thought that why people are not, there are, I don't know how many nations, 240, 50 nations, no? And why they allow people to fight? Any else? Any questions? Yes?
Thank you very much for your talk. It's been a real privilege to listen and you've got so much to take away. And really, I was just wondering about that sort of practical means that perhaps you yourself use that I might be able to sort of apply to my own life. So, meditation, or I didn't know if you had anything you could perhaps expand on.
Say it again. What should? What?
Any practical things that you use in your life to expand compassion in your life?
Well, I don't say that I'm a great compassionate person, you know. I'm not, I'm just like any of us. But I see very clearly the importance of compassion, you know. And not keeping hatred in me, not keeping hatred. That I see very clearly. Actually, when I was very young, I was a child, kind of. I was very, what can you say, very quarrelsome person, fighting all the time. I was fighting a lot. And I thought myself also to be a little bit brave and, you know, a little bit strong. And then I used to fight even bigger boys, you know. And how I used to do is that, you know, I got angry very quickly, and then, you know, this other boy, you know, I used to go back a little bit, and then I run and hit his stomach with my head. Because I was, you know, sometimes shorter than. And then he would fall down. So when he falls down, then I would use my feet and my legs and my knees, and, you know, and if it didn't seem to hurt very much because I was not that big, you know, I used to bite. Yeah. And but later on, I received some teachings, Buddhist teachings. Especially, I received a, you know, teaching on one text called Bodhicaya Avatara. And after that, I changed. Actually, I changed. I became much softer and not that much fighting. But my people didn't like it. My people said, oh, he's become like a cow shit, you know, warm and soft. You know, where I come from, you know, this area of Tibet are called Kampas. And they think they are warriors, you know, warrior tribe. And they kind of very much value bravery. They like people to be very brave. And if you are not brave, you are nothing, you know. You can be very intelligent, you can be very talented, you can be anything, no use if you are not brave, you know. That's kind of, you know. And they do things, you know, stupid things to make you brave. The first thing they give you to eat is the heart of a wild yak. You know? I have had some wild yak heart. I don't think it works anyway, but you know. So that was the social, you know, later on I now find why I was fighting so much. It was that social pressure, you know. I had to prove that I was brave, and that's why I was fighting. There was no need to fight. You know, I see this very clearly now. You know. So when you see that, you know, to be angry, to fight, to, you know, to hate, it's not useful. It's not good. It's not necessary. It's, you know, like the Chinese, communist Chinese have done so much bad to us, like Tibetans, you know. They destroyed our country, they took our country, they destroyed everything. They killed 1 million people. The Tibet, only 6 million, and out of that, 1 million killed. But if I now look deeply, do I really hate Chinese people? I do not hate Chinese people. Because which Chinese people I have to hate? You know? All those people who came to Tibet, you know, and did all these bad things. They were very young people, you know. They were forced to come. They were driven. So they were not really responsible. You know. They were kind of, they had to do it because it was the order. There's nothing to hate them, you know. And then, like leaders and things like that, they were very bad. They were very bad. They did so much damage, really, really negative. But then, if I hate them, that doesn't serve any purpose. Yeah. The more I hate them, the more I suffer. If I hate Mao Zedong, okay, I can hate Mao Zedong, and then what does it do? It wouldn't do anything good, but I would feel lots of pain in my heart because I hate. You know, hatred is a painful thing. So it's no use. I think understanding this is important, I think. You know, it's not that you know, if there is something going on that's very bad, and if I could stop that, even by using force, I would do that. I would, without hesitation, I might stop that negative happening. But I would not hate. Yeah? I think this way of thinking, understanding is, I think, important. Yeah? To see that, you know, people do bad things, people do negative things out of ignorance, out of hatred, out of all different kind of negative emotions. You know? And that's bad, that's pity, that's a pity. But that doesn't, but if I hate them, or if I, you know, it doesn't do any good. It doesn't help me, it doesn't help them. And when somebody does bad things, he's not only doing bad things to others, he's doing bad things to himself also. Actually, he's really, you know, harming himself much more. So therefore, you know, they are also object of pity, object of, you know, they are doing something really bad for themselves as well as others. You know. Of course, that doesn't mean that we should not stop people doing bad things, yeah? Because that's good for them also. You know. Like recently, not recently, a few years ago, somebody asked a question to the Karmapa. a young Karmapa. He was that time very, very young, not even 20, I think. And this person, I was translating for him, and they asked, if somebody slaps you on one cheek, should you turn the other one and let them slap you also? This is a kind of a very traditional question. And this, the Karmapa answered, which I never heard before. He said that, well, when you are allowing your other cheek to be slapped, then you are thinking about your own good, your karma. Yeah. You are not making bad karma by slapping back. But you are not thinking about the karma of the person who is slapping you. If you were thinking about the person who is slapping you, you would not allow him to do more. Yeah? I thought that was a very interesting answer, So I think that's the way it is, It's not that out of hatred, but out of compassion that we should stop people doing negative things. Because if they do negative things, it's not good for others, but it's not good for them either. Yeah? And that, not necessarily with, that's not hatred, that's with compassion. Yeah? And compassion can be also, the compassion is doing something that's beneficial. It could be softly done, it could be a little bit more strongly done, it could be a little bit more strongly done. Yeah? So it doesn't mean that if you are compassionate, you are totally doing nothing. You are totally, only soft. You are not doing anything. It's not like that. I think one can act decisively, one can act forcefully, one can act with strength, but with the intention of helping everybody. So, personally speaking, I think the main thing is that, I try to keep my heart kind of easy, That makes myself happier. I don't lose my sleep, which I feel is very important, I like to sleep a lot. I can sleep a lot, and it gives me peace of mind. And then, I try to do whatever little bit I can do to help within my capacity. And then that's all, And also, doing things, sometimes I feel that you don't have to do yourself too much. There are lots of different kind of things happening around me, some charities and many different kind of activities happening. And I said that I'm like this soup stone, You know the soup stone? Story of soup stone? Once there was a family, and in the evening they were sitting around, and then one person came and knocked the doors. And he came in, and he said, well, you want to have a nice soup? They said, yeah, we want to have a nice soup. Well, I have a soup stone, a very special stone, and I can make a very nice soup with it if you just boil some water. And they said, okay, we will have a very nice soup. So they boiled water, and then he took out his stone from his pocket and he put inside it. And then he said, well, if you have some, some vegetables or a little bit remaining of vegetables or things like that, it will make the soup nicer. So they went and they bring some, some vegetables and they put into it. They said, oh, if you some, bones or little remains of, meat, it will make soup better. They said, oh yes, we have some. And then they put there. And he said, oh, if you have some other things, different kind of a little bit grains and things, it will make the soup even better. So they put all those things. And then afterwards he said, oh, if you have some salt, that will taste much better. So they put salt. And then they made a nice soup and they gave it to everybody. He had his soup and they said, oh, this is really nice soup. Your stone is so nice. Mm-hmm. And then he said, yeah, this is a very nice thing. This soup stone is really, it makes good soup. You can keep it. So he gave them the soup stone and left. Actually, there was nothing in the stone. So I become soup stone, I go somewhere and then, people come together and say, well, maybe to do something like this would be good. They do everything themselves. And then, I don't need to do anything. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Superstone. That was wonderful. Thank you all for coming. It's wonderful to see so many people here. Just to let you know that we are a group that meet every Tuesday, which is today, just over the road at the Quake House, where some of us will be going very shortly. We meet there between 8 and 9:30 to practice meditation together and discuss Buddhist teachings, usually from some of Rinpoche's books, and then have some tea and coffee and relax afterwards and stuff like this. So if you'd like to come, you're very, very welcome. Tuesday 8 o'clock across the road. So now we are going to shortly be going to this place, so you're very welcome to join us. I'd like to just invite all the people, all the meat and the vegetables and the salt that made the soup so nice to come on the stage just so we can show appreciation. So if you've been involved at all, please come up, don't be shy. Come. You too. Anybody outside here? You have to. Michelle? So, thank you everyone for working together with Rinpoche Superstone to make the soup so that you can come and give wonderful teaching. It's always very simple and straightforward, but deeply profound and heartwarming and inspiring. So thank you everyone. Thank you Rinpoche. Please come again, please come again, please come again. You asked 3 times, yes? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, that's the thing, yeah. I think Amanda wants to make one picture of us Michelle. Okay. You for him?
Those who are outside, you know why I know it. You get everybody in? Yeah. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
You could come to the stage and take a few things. So maybe someone take one flower